What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So I just wanted to make this quick video because I had a dream the other night. Well, I went into my other realm the other night, and it was really crazy because I myself have never ever had an experience like this before. I am aware of what went on in the other realm. I'm aware of it. I'm woke to it, but I specifically have never had an experience like that before when I went to my other realm. So let me tell you guys about it. So I was driving down the main street. It's like a main drag in the area that I live in. Okay, so I seen this guy walking. He had a red and black flannel coat on. So I was driving, and I don't know why he specifically caught my eye, but I looked over, and he just did this. So I was like, oh, okay, like people are just trying to be nice. So I waved back. So I drove down to the next block. I seen this man again. Same exact man. And I looked over, and he just kind of looked at me for a second, and he went, I said, okay, maybe I'm just like imagining, so I just went like this. So I drove down the next block. Okay, this is like 8 blocks long. Okay, so I drove down the next block. Y'all, I seen this man again. Again. Okay, red and black flannel, same exact man. So here's me, like tripping out. I'm like, okay, what is going on? So I proceeded to make the right because I was going down into where the waterfront is that has a whole bunch of shops. And I stopped at the little stop sign that was there, and the guy is standing on the corner. Again, the guy is standing on the corner. So I put my window down and I said, sir, I said, I'm not meaning to be like funny, but I seen you 3 times already. And he said, yes, you did. And I said, okay, but how is that possible? Because I'm driving in a car and you were walking. So how would I see you block after block if I'm driving and you're walking? He said, you never heard of the ripple effect? And I said, yeah, I've heard of it. And I said, I've never experienced it or anything like that. But, so if y'all don't know what the ripple effect is, it's like a continuing and spreading result of an event or action or whatever. So it's just basically, it's like something that's keeps going on and keeps continuing. So I said, well, how is that really possible though? Because I'm woke to a lot of things. Okay. I believe in a lot of things. I believe anything can happen. Okay. But at that specific time, I was just like, this is weird. And he said, trust me. He said, it's real. I was like, okay, sir. I was like, well, you have a nice day. And he was like, you as well. He said, hopefully I'll see you soon. And he just kind of gave that little, and I was like, okay. I didn't know whether to be creeped out or be like, whoa. So I went through the stop sign. And when you go through the stop sign, there's another stop sign there, and there's train tracks. There's 2 sets of train tracks. So I got to the second stop sign, and everything in front of me was complete darkness. And this is in the middle of the day, y'all. This is 11:30, 12 o'clock, okay? This is in the middle of the day. Complete darkness. And I looked over at the other car that was over there. Get down. I looked over at the other car that was next to me, and I said, do y'all see this too? And they're like, yeah. But it was they seemed to not care. And I was like, okay, well, I have to get into the waterfront. I have to be there. My doctor's office is in the waterfront along with a lot of shops and stuff like that. And I'm like, what is going on? And they were like, I don't know. I was like, okay. So I got out of my car, and there was trains that were blocking to go into the waterfront. So I seen someone standing there, and I said, do you have any idea what's going on? And they're like, I don't know. It's not open. And I'm like, I could clearly see that. I'm like, why are these trains here? Like, why is it blocked? Like, why does it look like it's complete pitch black down there when it's in the middle of the day? And they said, all they said was to me, they looked at me and they said, there's 24 trains on each track blocking. I'm like, okay, there's 4 tracks. There's 24. So I'm like, okay, I'm doing in my head here. I'm like I don't know why I'm weird about this. Like if I do see numbers, or if I add and try to make something out of it. So I'm like, okay, 24 and 24 is 48. 48 and 48 is 96. I'm like, 96. I'm like, okay, it doesn't ring a bell. Like it doesn't like make any difference. Why is it blocking? I need to get down here. So I like looked in between the train and I seen someone walking, but it was kind of almost like a, not like a clear, but transparent to where you could see a little bit through them, but they were there. Like it's weird. So I said, excuse me. I said, can you tell me what's going on down here? And they're like, I'm sorry, we can't say anything. And I'm like, what? So like it was just like it just my whole thing switched, and I was back up on the main street again, and I seen that guy. And the guy said, aren't you tired of all of this kidnapping of these kids? Like these parents are worried. And I'm like, okay, now like literally what is going on? Because first I seen this guy, he's talking about the ripple effect. Then I go down there, it's complete pitch black. Can't get in there. There's 96 train cars supposedly blocking, which doesn't seem like it's a lot, which 24 train cars on each one, which doesn't seem like it's right, because usually like when the trains go by, I don't know why, but I count them, and there's like 100, maybe 110, maybe 120. So I'm like, 24 cars? And I'm like, okay, what does this symbolize? Like 24, 24, 24, and 24. So there's 4 tracks. There's 2 going one way and 2 going the other way. So I'm like, okay, like I'm in my car and I'm sitting there trying to think. And I'm like, okay, sir, like I don't understand like what is going on here. I need someone to explain this to me, because you're sitting there talking about a ripple effect. They're talking about something about the trains are blocking and it's 96, and like, I don't know. At this point where I was like having like 10 million things going through my head, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me why I was seeing this stuff. And then the dude said, if you look in the distance, you'll see why. And I'm like, okay. So I looked in the distance, like past the train tracks, okay, because I was up a little bit higher to where I could see over. And in the pitch black, like in the far back where like the clouds and stuff are, all I seen were these stick figures of children playing in like this little area. I couldn't see nothing but the children, but they were like playing in whatever this area was. And I heard like giggling and laughing and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, that's, like, it's cute, kids are playing, but like it's creepy because these are stick figure children. And the guy was just talking about these children being kidnapped and things like that. And then all of a sudden, boom, I woke up. I was like, when I woke up, I said, wow, like I believe in like the rippling effect. I believe like in a lot of these phenomenon that are going on, but why am I experiencing this, and what does it mean? Like, is there a connection between like the ripple effect, these children, the train cars, like the pitch blackness? And I still am baffled because I don't know. And I've never, like I said, I've never experienced anything like this. I've heard of the rippling effect. I've heard of that plenty of times. I know what it is. But for me to see the same guy 4 times, him talking about that, then him talking about kidnapped children, then the trains being 24 on each track, 4 of them, which equals 96, and then the total darkness. So I don't know, y'all. If y'all could please help me out, I would really appreciate it. Like I said, it could have just been something that threw me off, and it's something deeper, but I just don't know what it could be. And it's not just something that I just dream of, because, like, no. Like, every I'll say this to y'all in layman terms. Every dream that I have, it means something. Every dream that everybody has means something. You just don't know what it is. So I need to find out myself what this dream meant to me specifically, because, like I said, I don't have experiences like this ever. I've had weird dreams, but not like this. So I don't know. Maybe the 96, maybe me seeing the guy 4 times, that's 100. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to decipher it, and I can't. And it's annoying because I want to so bad, but I can't. So, all right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. I will see you guys in the next video. Please like this video, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I will see you guys in the next video.